Hoy no solo vas a aprender inglés, vas a pensar en inglés. En este video, escucharás una historia en inglés sencillo, nivel A1 A2, perfecta para mejorar tu vocabulario, pronunciación y comprensión, mientras tu mente empieza a crear ideas directamente en inglés. Sean bienvenidos a Speak English Fácil y Gratis, el canal donde aprender inglés es simple, práctico y motivador. Ahora dime, ¿cuál frase aprendiste hoy? Escríbelo en los comentarios y comencemos.
Lily was a shy girl who lived in a small town by the sea. Her house was small, with blue windows that looked out onto the waves. She loved reading books and writing little notes in her diary every night. The sound of the ocean was her favorite song. She often sat by the window, listening to the waves and dreaming about adventures she had never lived. One windy afternoon, while walking along the beach, she noticed something shining in the sand. She walked closer and saw a small glass bottle. Inside, there was a piece of paper rolled up tightly. The bottle was cold in her hands, and the cork was covered in tiny grains of sand. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The paper was old, but the words were clear. To the person who finds this, you are braver than you think. Lily read it again and again. A stranger's words had somehow found her, and they felt personal. She had never received a message like that before, and it made her heart beat faster. At the bottom of the letter, there was one more sentence. If you want to know the rest of the story, come to the old lighthouse at sunset. Lily's eyes widened. The lighthouse was far, and she had never gone there alone. The idea scared her, but it also filled her with curiosity. She wondered who could have written it. All afternoon, she couldn't stop thinking about the message. The sand crunched under her shoes, and the cry of seagulls echoed above her. As she got closer, the sound of the waves grew louder, almost like they were cheering her on. When she reached the lighthouse, the sky was painted with pink and gold. At the door stood an old woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile. "You found my letter," she said softly, as if she had been expecting her all along. The old woman invited Lily inside. The lighthouse was warm and filled with shelves, not of books, but of bottles, dozens of them, each with a message inside. Some were short, others long, but all were written with care. The air smelled faintly of tea and the sea. "I write these letters for people who might need them," the woman explained. "Sometimes, we all need to hear something kind, even from a stranger." Lily felt her eyes fill with tears. She had always been afraid to speak up in English class, afraid to make mistakes, afraid of what people would think. The woman listened patiently. The woman smiled and then said, "Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is walking forward even when fear walks beside you." She placed a hand over Lily's and added, "You already had the courage to come here. That is your first step." They sat together for hours, drinking tea and talking. Lily learned that the woman had once been shy too, but she found her voice by helping others. She told Lily stories about the bottles, how each one had traveled in the sea until it reached the right person. When Lily left the lighthouse that night, she kept the letter in her pocket. Every time she felt nervous in class, she touched it and remembered the woman's words. Slowly, she began to speak more, smile more, and even make new friends. She started to believe in herself. One sunny morning, Lily decided to write her own message. If you are reading this, know that you are stronger than you imagine. She placed it inside a bottle and left it on the beach. She watched as the waves carried it away, disappearing into the horizon. As she walked away, she smiled, wondering who would find it next. Maybe it would be someone as shy as she once was, or maybe it would be someone who simply needed a little courage that day. She hoped her words would find the right heart, just like the woman's letter had found hers. Because sometimes, the smallest words can carry the biggest courage, and one act of kindness can travel farther than the waves. And deep inside, Lily knew that the ocean would keep carrying stories, just like hers, to those who needed them most.